legal strike position and the employer a legal lockout position, I need what they call a no board. And basically what that is we meet with the conciliator. I ask for a no board, and basically it's like, yes, you understand what a no board is, they explain it to us, and then they send out an email saying in 17 days from today, you'll be in a legal strike position, or for the employer, a legal lockout position. So when I did that, the board called me and said, I have a conflicting collective agreement. Now, I don't know, I wasn't part of the last collective agreement, so I'm not sure how this happened. But your deadline is actually January 8th. I know, right? You're like, I see this guy, he's like, what do you mean? So your deadline's actually January 8th. So somehow in your last collective agreement, you guys probably came together during COVID online and voted no for your collective agreement, and the committee went back to bargaining with the employer, which happens often, and they made some changes or whatever, brought it back to you, and then you voted on it again and you voted yes for the collective agreement. Somehow, that collective agreement that you're living in today, the dates got mixed up. So when I looked at your collective agreement and I looked at the State of the Union, it said February 24th, but the facts of the matter is it's not. It's January 8th. And so what does that mean? It means that for me, I've been in conversations with the employer for the last couple of weeks. Your deadline is January 8th, and I could be wrong, it might be 9th, I can't quite remember if it's 8th or 9th. But if we didn't go to bargaining like we are, we're in bargaining now, we did that lined up with what we thought was the 24th, or I thought was the 24th. It meant if we get a collective agreement, you would miss out on all that retro. And so I got a commitment from the company, twofold. One, because we're not gonna go on strike, because we could be in a legal strike position right now. We are, in fact. But we won't pull the pin on that until after we've bargained. Obviously that doesn't make sense. And when we get a collective agreement, then they'll pay you retro until back to the 8th. So I have that commitment from them. That's the only thing that you really would have lost. So I just wanted to be transparent about that. It's a really odd thing. I don't know how that happened, but we'll get that sorted out. So as we move forward, your actual expiration of your collective agreement is actually the 8th or the 9th, not the 24th of February. I think it makes a difference. It matters, right? So just so you all know, we'll get paid back to the original date, and we've made a commitment we'll do bargaining, and then we'll make a decision about what we do from there. I deadline bargain. I don't know about other people, but when I say to the company on the 24th, you get us the collective agreement that we believe we should bring back to you. If that's not possible, then we're gonna come back to you, and we will before that get a strike vote from you. And I feel like my position is it's very important for us to have those pressure points so we get what we need. If we don't have them, then employers have they don't care. So when we say we're bringing back a collective agreement, then our options are gonna be very small. Either take it, maybe we go back to the employer, I don't love that, but we will, or we're walking on the street. That's basically what will happen. That's it. Go ahead, Rob.
Thank you, Kelly. So yeah, I forgot that, and I'm glad Kelly explained that, not me. Sorry, I'll start with the good ideas, but not enough to make the list. Breaks, wash up and lunch, shift rotation, change and hours, leave of absences, health and safety, grievances, and doctor's notes. Those were the ones that didn't make it. We decided we would write the top 10 most important things, which is a lot, but regardless, here's the 10 that made it. Wages, and in the wages, we put different things, such as increase is obviously a raise, food allowance, grow-in, cost of living, and attendance bonus. Now, for some people, there's confusion between a lump sum and a signing bonus. They're totally two different things. A lump sum is a one-time payment. It does not compound they give you a check for X amount of dollars, forever hold your peace. A signing bonus is different. We've agreed to 4-year contract, 4 percentages, and they say, and we will give you X amount of dollars to sign. Totally different, everybody understands. If you don't, ask us at the end and we'll gladly try to make it more simple. That's correct. It's, instead of giving us X amount of percent, they'll say, here, take whatever, $1,000 for this whole year, which doesn't make sense. It doesn't compound. But just in case people didn't know. The second one, so wages top, obviously. The second most popular thing on the sheets was mandatory overtime. And throughout those sheets, we had five different ways we could get around it. One suggestion was if one person gets mandated and somebody else doesn't, could this person take this person's spot on the mandate? You know what I mean? Like if Vicky gets mandated and she doesn't want to work, I could go to Lee and say, I'll run cell 3 instead of mandating Vicky, I'll work. That's one suggestion of getting out of it. Another one was no mandating on long weekends. Extra pay for mandatory overtime. Only using it as a last resort and not getting mandated 2 weeks in a row. So that's number 3 is benefits. Increased dental, vision, chiropractor, massage, short-term, long-term disability, which I have, for those that don't know, and some mental health help as well. But to the people that ask about short-term and long-term disability, you have to realize the people that get long-term disability, we pay for it. So I don't know if whoever doesn't get it, I don't know how we could ever figure that out, but you'd all have to agree to pay for it. I can't think of off the top of my head how much we pay. Yeah, that's correct. Anyone under Corey doesn't have it, but if you would want it, I can honestly, I don't know how that would work, if you all have to get it, or some people, but Terry Lynn said it's how much? So $29 a week you have to pay for it. So just remember that. Number 4 is severance. It was suggested maybe 3 weeks pay and an increased buyout. Number 5 is pension. Increase the percents given out, which to some maybe the younger people, they don't think it's a big deal, but it might be one day. I'm pretty sure I didn't think I was going to retire here, but I might. Short term and long term, that was another thing in itself. Number 7 was a signing bonus, not a lump sum. Number 8 was shift premium for midnights. I'm guessing a lot of people on midnights want a shift premium because it was quite popular. Number 9 is the grow-in, which people want it removed or shortened, which is fine, and I believe the company might want that too, but that's up to them, we'll see. And number 10 is sick days. I'm trying to get some sick days back. So those were the 10 most popular. How many do we get? I have no idea. So then, after that, there's a few language, non-monetary things. One was limiting the amount of robots, or in the future AI, in the building, which if there's lots of robots means less work. Language would be better job postings, better wording, better classification, guaranteed response time to the successful or unsuccessful candidates. Thinking of the future, we have a slush fund, which some of you may or may not know. It would be nice to get a updated, I guess, paper in the mail, how much money you have left in your slush fund if you use it. Sometimes you forget how much, but everyone here, well, there'd be a few, but he's not here, that might want that. So there wasn't a lot of non-monetary things, to be honest, in the sheets that we got. But sometimes during negotiations, the company brings up things, or we might randomly think of things, so that doesn't mean that's the only things that are brought up. But other than that, it was good, I think we did well going through it. I guess that's all I have to say. If there's any questions or suggestions, we're gonna keep this positive. We're not gonna sit here and argue for 2 hours, but if there's any positive suggestions, we're open to questions, and that's it. Kelly can take questions, Jeff, I'm sure, but.
Kelly, what position do you see us in? Are we in a good spot, bad spot, medium?
Well, I think all of us must, I mean, look, I don't wanna go into bargaining and have the employer, do an opening piece about tariffs, but they're gonna. You know, Dana Corporation, from the time, like, I remember Dana Corporation from when I started in working at GM many, many years ago, was much bigger than it is today. In fact, I think, you know, you guys might be a last of a dying breed. Hopefully not a dying breed, but a breed. So I think we're gonna have to take that into consideration. We're gonna try to, you know, one of the things that I've done a ton of IPS here in this region. I've done most of them with a few exceptions, here in the last 2 years. We'll bring that graph with us. I have one prepared of what every single increase was in IPS, independent parts suppliers, in the region. So we're gonna try to make an argument that we wanna, you know, keep up with everybody else, and we wanna see that reflected in the wage increases. I like dollars, not percentages, because I think percentages are junk. Rather see you get dollar increases rather than percentages. I will recommend to the committee that we put in dollars and cents instead of the percentage wage increases. But I think that we're going in with, you know, understanding, like, we're seeing job losses in IPS, a lot of job losses. We thought we were gonna be okay with these tariffs until the end of last year, and now we're starting to see some serious job losses in IPS. But that doesn't mean, I don't know, you know, I have reached out to the company on numerous occasions, and Rob will tell you, always checking in with him. What are the companies saying about the effect on Dana around tariffs? And we haven't heard a lot so far. Like, every time that I've reached out, Rob has done that, the employer said so far, we look okay. You guys are still working overtime? So those things are gonna matter. That's the only thing we have up against us, I would say.
What are you going for as far as the length of the contract, like 3 or 4 years?
It's normally 4 unless it decides to change, but we normally do 4.
3 would be better. 3 would be better.
Try that, that's something we would have to discuss.
I think a 3's better, but a 4 is okay if they're gonna pay you for it. You know, if they pay you for a 4, then take the money and run, because who knows what happens, right? But if it's not worth it, you stay on a 3. I mean, this is their decision, but this would be my recommendation. And not $1,000. I hate lump sums. I don't think they're smart. 10,000. You know, but 10 grand. We should go for it. Can I ask a question, clarifying? I don't want to take up space because it's your thing. What is the doctor's notes? Do you get sick time? Do you get paid sick time? No. Yeah, because I was like, man, you guys are a unicorn if you got paid sick time in this industry. So what are the doctor's notes about? What did they say about the doctor's notes?
Doctor's
In the-
notes, that's what they said.
Oh, just
Yeah,
the
they just said
doctor's
doc-
notes?
I think yeah, some people don't have doctors anymore, so now they have to go online to get doctor's notes. So sometimes the company agrees and disagrees. Some people bring in doctor's note. It's okay. Sometimes they don't agree with it, depending on the person, the situation. I don't know how to resolve that. We'll have to
Something to
resolve
think
that, yes.
Yeah. I just wanted to understand what that meant.
But there was a few that just said doctor's note.
Okay.
So I assume that's what the people meant. I don't know. But
Rob, not everybody gets asked for a doctor's note, though, right? Isn't it once you get to the point where your attendance is an issue or something? Like
yeah, you get 6 free days, so you go 6 times. Sometimes if people have a pattern of absenteeism, yeah, they get asked for doctor's
But
notes.
isn't that usually when they ask the doctor's note, once you're,
That's correct. If somebody calls in once a
if
year,
Jeremiah doesn't call in, he calls in once, he's not gonna get asked for a doctor's note because he called in the one time, correct?
that's correct.
Okay. Well, it's not that they're just asking for doctor's notes every time you call in.
No,
So if you're missing for 3 days consecutive, the company has the right to ask
Right.
for a doctor.
Yep.
yeah, that's
So that's the conundrum that we're falling into. You know, you got, like Rob said, you get your 6 days, you may be off 9.
Yep.
Right, so once you've gotten to that 9th day, they're gonna require a doctor's note saying that you're 100% fit, ready and able, capable of going back to work, you're good to go.
I think that's pretty
I think
standard
the issue
too, right?
though there is, like Rob said, a lot of people may or may not have doctors. So if you're doing it virtually or whatever like that, he sends something through, it gets printed out, or you print out the doctor's note, take it into the employer, and they're looking at it going, yeah, this is bogus or whatever. We're just gonna, we'll talk about it at the bargaining table, try and get it solidified, because that seems to be the way that it's going, right? We don't have a lot of general practitioners in Chatham.
Yeah.
They are getting more, but more of the doctors that are coming now, from what I'm seeing in other units and experiencing, it's more of generalists in the hospital. They're not taking on practices. So you have to go to a walk-in clinic and you might not have the same doctor. There's consistency while you're seeing this one this time and you're not seeing that same person again. But we'll bring that up at the bargaining table and try and get it sorted out as best we can.
Yeah, I just wanted to, if it was something, because a lot of times doctors will charge, if you need a doctor's note, right, you have to pay for it and everything else.
Sure.
Some,
True.
okay, if that's one of the cases.
Yeah, I think Scott, I guess to answer your question, every not person, situation is different.
So
It really
mon-
is.
monetarily, are you guys gonna go forward with, cost of living
So that might be,
in that too?
yeah, that was in the,
Was it? I didn't hear that. Sorry.
yeah, it was, the 4th one, yeah. Yeah.
She said you already talked about it. You getting old, Rob, I can't hear it very
Well,
good.
then the, retirement might interest you. I was a salesman at one time. No, yeah, we'll try, yeah, no,
Can you repeat what number 9 was? I did not hear that.
Shorter growing.
shorter growing.
Shorter growing.
Thank you. Defined?
That's basically
Instead
for
of-
new hires.
Yeah, instead of 4 years to get the top wage,
Okay,
hopefully 0, could be 3, could be 2, could be 1.
thank you.
In the back.
Two-tier wage is gonna disappear?
Well, we don't have 2-tier wage, we have growing, and that's what Mel just asked.
So everybody's going to be paid the same?
Well, we're gonna try, that's correct, that's what Mel just asked. Now it's 4 years to get the top wage. Hopefully we can get it down to 0, but if not 4, maybe 3, maybe 2. Is that clear, Sandy, or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to clear that up.
Got 2-tier, you never catch, growing, you catch.
What about classification?
Health and safety, is that important?
Sorry, Sandy, Terry?
Classifications.
Yes, I mentioned that in,
Yeah. You're gonna go back
non-monetary
to
or
the way it
language.
was, or you're still gonna, are they still gonna leave everybody as production workers? Cause I think that's what we're all classified as, most of us.
That's correct, other than maintenance and shippers, yeah.
Yeah. So we go back to like assembly and machine operator. And that what you're talking about for classifications for us?
Yeah, I just said, like, for language, some people had mentioned maybe the job posting may be more clear, or job description more clear, having set timelines for response. I've heard in the past that they've waited 3 weeks to respond, and Andrew might be waiting for 3 weeks, and he might not be successful. So people want, within a week after the deadline, you have to respond either to the successful or unsuccessful candidate. But as far as, we're all production workers other than maintenance and, shipping. Sandy, sorry?
Health and safety? So you mandated
Yes.
every weekend and have to tap when you're only allowed to tap 6 months, because it's not part of the process, and we've been tapping for years.
Yeah, maybe Jason or Terry Lynn can answer that better, but we can make note of it. I'm not sure of the timeline about tapping. I'm sure Jason might have a better idea, but yes, we'll make a note of it. But, I don't know, Jay, have you heard anything about that?
Well, no, it's just still, it's still tied into the quality alert with washers falling off.
We're still getting washers that are falling off or double washers. Until that stops, we're just gonna have to continue doing the process of tapping until quality says we can stop. I
But
know
under the
I know we all
process
wanna stop.
legislation, that it is only allowed 6 months to alter the process, and then they gotta come up with something different. They haven't done that in years.
We are
We're talking
getting,
4, 5 years of it.
we are getting a new quality manager, so hopefully, once he starts and gets trained, we can, like, as team leaders and stuff, we can, try and get that process. I understand what you're saying, yeah. But that's more the company, until they tell us we can stop it, I don't know what we can do.
Well, the Unifor State Bill 2526 was eliminating unsafe practices. And under my opinion, that is unsafe practices that have to tap for years and years and years.
Sandy, we will make note of
Yeah.
it, and, I can talk to, well, all of us, but maybe Kelly and I and Jeff, we can maybe come up with all of us can come up with that, but it's, Terry Lynn made note of it, so we'll try our best to get to the bottom of it. Mel?
I think it's important to keep the banked hours and the opt-outs.
Yeah.
So hopefully that does not change. Is that a normal process brought in from Dana, or is it something that we go, like you guys go as the committee to aim for it?
That is something that, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Just don't bring it up, they don't bring it up.
Okay.
Status quo.
In the event that they go after that, I, and probably a whole bunch of other people, would like you guys to go for that, like go after that, please.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe bet.
Well, and it's beneficial for, especially for the people on afternoons, that if there's something on a Friday night, you have to either take a vacation day, call in or whatever be, and it absorbs a lot of your vacation day if you have something for your family or even a social event and stuff like this. So,
I can assure you there'll be no concessions.
perfect. Thank you.
Is there anything that was the A, B, C, and D shift they still have in there? They switched us to that for a little while and then switched us back. Like, is there a way we can stop them from just switching us whenever they, or eliminate that out of there?
I guess that's something we could try, Andrew, but no guarantees, of course, but yeah, we can try. Hopefully that's another thing that just kinda,
Like, I don't know, last time they flopped us to that shift and then they flopped us back after not very long.
No, that was a longer than, that gives us 6
This
months.
is like almost a year, I think it has.
The problem with that, Andrew, is that, the only problem with that is, and of course Rob's correct, we can try anything we want, but that's a management right. And those are the most difficult things for us to demand in bargaining is, if you look under management rights, they have the right to direct the workforce, decide what your shifts will be. What we can do is limit, what we can do for sure is ensure that people are given adequate notice, and if people have, you know, some accommodations around, not, you know, I have children in school, not an accommodation, but I have an accommodation because I take medication, or I need to go to the hospital at 8 o'clock every night. We can do stuff like that, but that management, right, that's a challenge for us to be able to say to the employer, we're gonna work when we think is the best. Employer's gonna say, go pound salt. I just wanted to say that, to be fair.
Sandy?
Most important thing on my mind today
Yeah,
is workplace fairness. Fair treatment for all unionized workers. We should already have that, having 15 years unionized shop.
yeah, yes, we can address that. Do you have an example, maybe? I'm not sure what you mean by fairness, but.
Fairness means you go by the rules of the contract for everybody. It's not, what do you say, discussion backed with somebody, your shift facilitator, so it changes the contract up because you're gonna take that favoritism. And that's happened a lot in our plant. I've been there 30 years. I know what I'm talking about.
I don't.
And I've been subject to that unfairness many a times. Brought in the office, to the plant manager's office on December the 18th with the plant manager, production manager, Jason Pye, and the HR, because they weren't putting my retirement funds that they take out of my check for 4.5 months. Why was I subject to that?
I can't answer that, I wasn't at work, Sandy, but it will be addressed. As far as fairness, I'm not sure what exactly is not fair, but we will discuss trying to get something. If it's fairness, we all have to go where we're told to work. If that's what you mean by fair, if I'm told to go to Duramax, I have to go there. If that, I'm not sure what you mean by fair, but if that's what you mean by fair, we're all production workers. If you're told to go somewhere, unless of course.
That's not my problem.
Unless you have restrictions or something, then I'm not sure what you mean by fair, but it will be looked at. We'll try to, maybe Kelly or Jeff has something in their books about fairness, but I guarantee you we'll look at it. That's all I can tell right now. I'm not sure about fair, but what you mean. I know what fair means, but it will be looked at. Oh, sorry.
You mentioned something when you were reading the points from the sheets
Yeah,
about shift rotation,
yeah.
that actually people want to rotate.
No, that was a non-important one, but some people had said it. So anything on those sheets, Dorothy, whether it was whatever, we wrote down. And a
Oh,
couple
okay.
sheets had no shift rotation.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, you're safe, but in fairness to everyone, everything that were on those sheets,
The worst thing can happen is like rotate shift.
that's correct, we wrote down. If it was one idea, yeah,
Oh, okay.
so yeah, you're safe. And we would, most people like the shift. Maya, you good? We can try to get a cushion seat for the Zamboni for you if you want. No, Mike, everybody else good? Questions? Yeah?
What about getting our pay stubs given to us again, or maybe
That's
a
something-
computer with a printer, we could do it ourselves?
Yeah, that's a
I don't
language
understand.
thing that should be.
Going along with the pay stubs there, Rob,
Yep.
is there any discussion with the company with the mishaps with our pay that's happened, like,
Yeah.
roughly?
Fair question, Scott North. I don't think, well, it hasn't been brought to my attention, I don't think it's happened too much recently. I don't think so.
Just happened again this last week.
Oh, maybe I missed something. Maybe they talked to Jason, not me. What happened, Stan? You're shaking your head, sorry. Oh, the vacation? I thought you meant normal, sorry, Scott. I
No,
thought you meant-
anytime it's been messed up, or it's been multiple people in the plant that have missed out on pay.
Yeah, I thought you meant normal. This
No, no.
vacation thing?
Well, it's all on the classification of how they put it in the pay stub sometimes is where things get screwed up, but you keep being told it's not on the plant level. Unless you talk to certain people and it's saying, yes, it is at the plant level. Like, I'm just wondering if we're figuring this out, because it's, once, you know, oops, it's a mistake, twice, well, shame on you.
Yeah, absolutely.
5, 7, 10 times, there's obviously an issue, and I don't think, once you start messing with people's pay, right,
Yeah,
some people live paycheck to paycheck and they rely on that money that they expect to be there. I think it's more or less just getting some sort of clarification from the
Yeah.
company at what point do they like rectify this or take ownership of what's going on. It just seems like no one knows what's the problem is.
Yeah, fair enough.
Can I take?
Scott, Jeff can answer that, or
So-
address it, I don't know if you can answer it.
I got reached out to, I wanna say probably 8, 10, maybe even 12 months ago, where people were getting, hours were missed, and
Yeah.
this was done, and that was done. And I had conversations with corporate above Chatham.
Okay.
I was actually talking to the headquarters. I'm not excusing it, it should never have happened. But they told us that they were interchanging with their payrolls and this and that and the
Yeah.
other thing. He was very embarrassed that people weren't being paid.
Right.
I can bring the emails and I can show the membership if they want.
Yeah.
But I spoke with Daryl, who is the VP up there. We tried getting it corrected as soon as possible, because to be quite frank, we were also getting that same experience at the local from Dana. So it wasn't, it's kind of weird because it's a corporation that's in the United States and we're dealing here in Canada. So everything has to go from here to there and then back.
Right.
It's really, really silly in my mind. Like, payroll should be here, it should just be generated and be done. We should be able to pull it out of the account and make sure that everybody's paid. But we will discuss it at the bargaining table. I did have that in my notes in the office, because I got a separate binder started for
Yeah.
Dana. And that was one of the issues that we had coming up over the last couple of years, that I wanted to see if we could get addressed at the table, so.
Perfect. Thanks. They actually used to handle it in Canada. We used to have, out of Oakville, we used to get paid out of Oakville. Like for the people that have been with Dana for.
That it? And obviously, if you think of something after, you can talk to us tomorrow. But, if that's it, unless Kelly, Jeff, or one of the members or committee members have something to say, thank you for coming.
Actually,
Oh.
I do have one.
Yeah, Sylvie?
If, like, there's one time when I had a vacation day and I got it taken away, and there's no proof that I have it, like, because, like, it's on the punch clock. Unless you take a picture of it, you don't have no other proof. And luckily I did. cause otherwise I would've gotten that taken away. I'm wondering if there's a better way where they can maybe write it down so we know that we have it and they can't take it away, the vacation day.
You mean you had an approved vacation day and then they retracted it?
Yeah,
Oh.
Oh, it's okay. So, cause I know it's happened to someone on my shift. So it doesn't actually draw your vacation in that. So say you booked on the 28th next month, and you already pre-booked it, and you booked something on the 29th, or the 26th, and you booked it with that one, it will draw for that one, but it won't draw for the next one.
no, they literally told me I didn't have that day. Like, I was told, it's when I went to days, I had to redo all my vacation. I had asked for a certain day, and, I got approved, but I had no other proof because everything that, when I was on afternoons, it was no longer approved, those vacation, I had to restart everything. And then I got approved by Ashley, and then she took it away. She said, oh no, you don't have that vacation. I'm like, what? So I had to go and see Nick and tell him, I've had this vacation when I was on afternoons, I got it back when I was on days, and now she took it away. So he gave it to me because there was too many people out after the fact, because higher seniority asked for it. So it'd be nice to have proof somehow, like on paper or something.
Or email.
Well, not everybody has email.
Yeah, I don't-
Try to stay away from email because not everybody has it. I think, so handwritten, I think is too bad.
We used to keep track of it in a Excel sheet, remember when we first started? Everybody could look at it.
That's something, George, we can,
Does it? Okay. What's that? Vacation?
I think we still have sheets that you can fill out for vacation. Like, there is physical forms you can fill out,
Yeah, I've had them all filled out, but
Yeah.
when I went on days, it all changed.
right?
So now I have no more proof of anything.
Okay, so you didn't have your sheets anymore?
No, because everything
You
that I
don't
got
have to.
approved on afternoons,
Right.
I
So
went
you
to
had to redo
days.
them, but you didn't redo them on paper. You-
Right.
Okay.
yeah, you fill out sheets in March or whatever.
Right. I fill out sheets for every time I ask for vacation. In
Oh,
God we trust, and everybody else brings documentation, right?
I didn't know there was
You
such
don't
a
always
thing.
get them back though either,
We just get told to do it on the punch clock.
Yeah,
yeah, or we don't get the sheets back on the
Should give
office
you a copy of
day.
the
At
sheet
first
back.
you
Well, they
do.
give, when you do, they give you all the sheets back when you do it. That was different.
So the sheet was like-
No, that one was different, because when they want all the people that want their names, you got switched. You had to rebook all those ones. Yeah.
If that's true, though, then like you're coming to day shifts.
Yeah, which is what they did, so.
Heads up.
Yeah, that's something, thank you everyone for coming, enjoy your day. Track event, Rob?